This demonstration here is on the air fuel torch, which is sometimes called the turbo torch. So as you can see, it's just one bottle. I'm leaving the wrench on it. It's only open about a quarter of a turn. So if something happens, I can get it turned off really quickly. It's set to 15 PSI. That's the maximum you can do with the turbo. It's ready to go. I've got my striker. I'm not going to use a cigarette lighter. I've got my safety glasses on. I've got a couple of pieces of copper here that are ready to go. And we're going to light it. Now, remember, with this type of torch, we don't throttle it back here. We keep it wide open. If I want different fire, I buy and use different tips. That's how this works. But these are noisy. Not going to be able to hear me as good, but I'll talk and we'll see how it goes. I'm also going to be using these brazing alloys. The copper melts at like 1900 degrees. The alloy melts at 1500. So we're going to be somewhere in that 1600 range. And let's get going. I'm going to open it up and get it lit. Wide open then, because if I keep it like this, it'll burn up my tip. Noisy, but that's how they work. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of start heating the bowl. This is going to go where the fire is. The solder, brazing alloy, technically, is going to go where the heat is. With this turbo type torch, I can get fairly close. And I can see now it's starting to change colors. It's getting hot. I'm going to start adding the alloy. It's going to start melting. Kind of capillaries around. Now, my final thing I'm going to do is just kind of take a look. Make sure I didn't leave any kind of gaps that could leak. I see nothing. I'll move down to the next one. It gets a little trickier when you get next to a vise because the vise keeps sucking up the heat. Same kind of thing, just heat it up. 3/8 is really easy to braze. Okay. I see nothing there. That looks fine. Let's move on to something a little bit bigger. I can get a little more pressure out of it. A little bigger copper is going to take a little more heat. I can hold it on here a little bit. You see this kind of wraparound effect that's going on? Same thing, just heating it up. Not too worried about burning it because I can, if I think I'm getting too hot, I don't do this, I do this. Kind of giving it a test, see how it's doing temperature-wise. So now I'm pretty much there. I'm just going to maintain that. Kind of work that down into the bowl. Work my way around. The last thing I'm going to do is kind of cap it off. I'm not going to leave any shoulder in there that could possibly have a leak. Takes a little more of my alloy, but it gives you peace of mind it's not going to leak. I can seal the top the same way. It's probably already pretty hot. I just squeezed it shut. I'm going to seal it. And when I want to cap off something like this, I'm going to kind of go sideways, kind of back off on the heat a little bit, just like that. So it's always the way with this type of thing. The time to fix something that doesn't look right is while this is in your hand and while this is hot. And I promise you, if you take a moment and you do what I did and cap them off and make sure there's no shoulder showing, you will not have a leak.